Hey, self. So this is an idea that I've been mulling around for a little bit, and I want to finally get it out. This is the concept of relationships that are known as partnerships. So a partnership to me is the concept of sort of like two equals coming together. Like if I was going to go out on a date with someone and I thought they were really beautiful and I was really attracted to them, that would be me trying to be a partnership because I want to see if that person's good for me too. Yes, I really like them, but when we're going there, I want to imagine that I'm bringing things to the table as well, that I'm valuable for that person too. So it's a partnership, a give and take. I find this to be very charismatic, really romantic at times, really funny, really fun, because it's this kind of thing where everybody comes with the same equal sort of experience. This expectation, almost like ground rules are set that both people respect to the other. The reason I bring this up is because I found that when I move away from a partnership, relationship kind of thing, I run into problems. I end up having bad experiences. So if it's like a student-teacher relationship or like an employee-boss relationship, I begin to sort of create this power imbalance, which does exist, and we'll talk on that in a second, but I create this like personal power imbalance where I feel like I accept more bad treatment, or I am less likely to correct something that's annoying, even if it was totally fine to correct it, and there isn't even bad treatment. It's just sort of like a disagreement in how something goes. I'm less likely to do that if I view this as a teacher-student sort of relationship. I also often give myself the less power in this relationship. I view myself as the person learning, so it's okay to let the other person sort of make me feel uncomfortable. And that's not right. I found that when I do that, I get really upset at the teacher in this situation because I kind of have these expectations that they should know things and they should feel my feelings, and it creates a problematic relationship, both from the fact that I let people take advantage of me and from the fact that I don't really tell them if something's problematic. But a partnership is where we work together. If something was to come up, I can say, I don't like that, or that's great. And if something was, mistreatment, I'd be able to be like, I'm going to stop this. I don't deserve this kind of treatment. It's kind of like the concept of like a teacher's job is to teach the student. Yes, the student has to give for the teacher to understand, and the teacher does have power there, but the teacher's job is to teach. Or a boss's job is to ensure that every employee is successful because that makes the boss successful. A foundational structure to achieve the overall goal. If a boss is failing to do that, then they're not doing a very good job bossing. And that's something where I want to remember that's why it's a partnership. Partnership between the student and the teacher, partnership between the employee and the boss. One of the ways that I want to make sure I remember this and stick with it is through the process of setting boundaries. I learned about this in therapy recently, and it's something that I've done before in partnerships, but when I kind of slip out into these other relationship styles, I want to remember it. So it goes like this. Let's say the person, whoever the teacher-student relationship problem was, the person's raising their voice to me. They're like getting angry, kind of thing. And I'm feeling uncomfortable. During a natural break in the conversation, I would say, I'm unsure if you're aware of this. You're raising your voice, and I don't like that. Anyway, please continue. The concept here is pretty interesting psychology, where the first part is that you're giving the person an out. You're basically saying, if you know this, then you can change it without me thinking that you meant to get mad. Or a lot of people, myself included, might get emotional and not realize that they're raising their voice. That's one of the benefits of starting this way. Give the person an out so that they know that it's okay if they back off. The second thing is to identify the problem. You're raising your voice, and I don't like that. Now, that's great. That's a very clear statement, and I'm not 100% sure that's always going to work. I haven't practiced this a lot. Maybe I want to say something like, you're raising your voice, I don't like that, would you please lower it? Anyway, let's continue. I'm not sure how that one will work as well, but I think the concept is pretty obvious. If I'm pointing out that I don't like your voice being raised, I probably mean please lower it. I'm not sure yet. Figure that one out. But to the final part, I love this. It's like driving off the road, correcting the direction, and getting back on the road. Anyway, what you were saying. Like, that moment, you bring the person back to the conversation, basically saying, we're done having this part of the conversation. No one's in trouble. I'm simply course correcting, setting a boundary. That's awesome. And I really love this because in a psychological standpoint, people remember the first and last thing said. And so when you come out and you say, here is an escape, you didn't mean to do this, and then you finish it with, and I'm done talking about it, this is great. then that's awesome. It really causes very few feelings to be kind of in any way. I mean, if a person was to ignore these things, well, that's really good education too, because it helps you understand that that person might not have your best interest in mind. And if it's a partnership, you'll know to back off. So that's what I want to remember. That's the lesson for me. Thank you, Sal, for talking about it. See you.